Salvete omnes. Hodie legemus partem vigente de libro cuius nomen est Ritchie's Fābulae Facilēs. Incipiamus. Pars vigenti. The oracle's reply. Ubi Hercules finem fecit, Pythia primo tacebat. Tandem tamen usit ium ad urbum Tierenta ire, et Eurystiae regis omnia imperata facere. Hercules ubi haec audivit, ad urbum illam contindit, et Eurysteo regi se in servitutum tradidit. Duodecim annos crudalissimo Eurysteo serviebat, et duodecim labores, quos ille imperaverat, confecit, hoc inum uno modo tantum scerus expiari potuit. De his laboribus plurima a poetis scripta sunt. Multa tamen quae poetae nerant vix credibilia sunt. When Hercules made an end, so in the previous section he was explaining everything, all that he did, how he had accidentally killed his family in a fit of madness, he was explaining that to Pythia, the Delphic oracle. So when Hercules made an end of explaining that, at first, primo, Pythia was silent, tacebat. Finally, so tandem, however, tandem tamen, she ordered usit eum, him, so that's the accusative pronoun, so from is, in the nominative, it's eum for the accusative. She ordered him to go, ire, to the city of Tierent, and to do all of the things commanded. So we've got plural accusative there. All of the things commanded of Eurystheus, the king. So this here is in genitive, and that's kind of is a weird translation. Perhaps the idiomatic way to put it would be, and to do all of King Eurystheus's commands. You've got a grammar note here explaining that imperata is the past passive participle. So she's telling him to go to this king and do everything he commands him to do. Hercules ubi haec audivit. So when Hercules heard these things, so plural neuter accusative, he hastened, condidit, to that city, ad urbum illam, and gave himself, tradidit se, into servitude, in servitutum, to King Eurystheus. So we've got the dative there. Duodecim annos, so for 12 years, he was serving, serviebat, the most cruel Eurystheus, crudalissimo Eurysteo, again that's in the dative, and 12 labors, duodecim labores, quos that one had commanded. So ille is referring to the king here. Imperaverat is in the pluperfect, so things that he had commanded. And then quos here is the plural accusative relative pronoun. And the 12 labors, which 12 labors? Well, the ones that he had commanded. And remember, in a relative phrase like this, the relative pronoun has the case that it would have just within this little relative phrase. So the king was commanding. What was the king commanding? The deeds. So we're going to have quos, which is the accusative. So all the deeds that he did, that he had commanded, he did. Confecit, meaning Hercules did them. Hoc inum uno modo, so for in him. In this one way, hoc uno modo, that's an ablative, he was able to be expiated, expiati, that's the passive infinitive, so instead of to expiate, it's to be expiated. So he was able to be expiated from such a crime, tantum scelus. De his laboribus, so of these labors, much plurima has been written, scripta sunt, or rather I should say was written, because this is a past passive participle plus sunt construction. So much was written by the poets. Much, however, multa tamen, quae poetae nerant, vix credibilia sunt. So much, however, is barely credible. Credibilia is in the neuter plural nominative to match multa. Vix modifies that, so scarcely credible. And this is another relative phrase, quae poetae nerant. And quae here is the plural accusative of the relative pronoun, because that's the case that it has within this little relative clause. The poets narrate. What do they narrate? Much. Since they're narrating things, that means the things being narrated need to be in the accusative. So that's why we have quae. And I've got the chart over on the right-hand side here. So much, however, of what the poets narrated is hardly credible.